Hello and welcome to the Circle at Kismet. For Halloween, we're doing a reading to get a channeled message and guidance from Spirit. Although Halloween themed, this is a timeless reading. There are 6 envelopes to pick from and 6 accompanying ghosts. If you've not done a pick-a-pile reading before, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and when you feel centred, open them and see which envelope your heart is drawn to. As with these types of reading, not everything will resonate with everyone, so take what is for you and leave the rest. I'll let you have a closer look at the envelopes, the timestamps are below, and I'll see you at your pile. Pile 1, Pile 2, Pile 3, Pile 4, Pile 5, Pile 6. If you pick pile number 1, here's your reading. Pile 1 is the opalite ghost. Okay, so in your envelope for number 1, your message from Spirit reads, you haven't been fully present for some time. You felt isolated. Your mind is torn in several directions. Your soul is tired. Your body is depleted. Energy has been at an all-time low up until this point. Your body is a temple, and what you feed it and how you nurture it and what you do to it all makes an impact on how we ultimately function. There are opportunities calling you, a desire to do something that makes your heart sing, opening your mind to the discovery of a new spiritual direction, and probably most importantly, there is a new essence of love bringing forth excitement and adventure. You have so much to look forward to in this new chapter. The new you is waiting to be born. And I've picked a selection of tarot and oracle cards out to go with your message. So the first set of tarot cards that I've picked out for you actually relate to the past. And we have the Knight of Cups, Judgment, the Four of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. From the cards, I'd say that you have a lot of love to give, and I think in the past you've committed yourself to people who have not necessarily been worthy of your affections. This has left you lacking confidence in relationship choices and steering clear of solid relationships through fear of getting hurt. You may also have had to walk away from someone that you love because you couldn't get past what they did, said, or their behaviour. We have some other tarot cards which represent the present. They are the Ace of Swords, the Two of Coins, the Four of Wands, and the Eight of Coins. The present is showing something around your home, potentially moving or refurbishing your existing abode to make it more comfortable. There are choices to be made in matters of the heart in the present time, a potential for commitment for those in relationships, or a new love that offers real potential for those still searching for someone special. The next 2 cards relate to the future. The first is Strength, Turmoil, and the second is Discovery. The future cards are pointing out that things are not always easy, and if you really want something, you need focus, determination and drive to strive towards it and to have your best chance of getting it. Others around you might be able to help. Don't be afraid to ask for assistance, and if you do reach out to others to aid your plight, be thankful of their help. When you emerge from this challenge, remember the lessons and experience these things have taught you and how they have put you on the right path, have made you the person that you need to be for your new direction. The next 3 cards are about inner advice, and you have smoke, prayers, you have jack-o'-lantern, protection, and witch. The magic you seek is inside of you. Let it flow. So the jack-o'-lantern card is all about shining a light on things that are important. And it also, as with the witch card, denotes that people may come to you when they're in need. The jack-o'-lantern card, people come to you like a moth to a flame when they need help or advice. And the witch's card, obviously in ancient times, witches were wise women who helped with a whole wide range of ailments and problems. People would be drawn to witches when they didn't know where else to turn, or they felt their life or their emotions were out of their control. So they turned to somebody for outside help. With regard to the smoke card, it's advising you to not worry, that there's going to be signals, there's going to be hopes, there's going to be prayers, there's going to be wishes that you've released previously into the universe, and they are at work for you and at the moment coming to fruition. You just really need to be quite patient to see that come into reality. The next card relates specifically to love, and it is translucent, love the darkness. This card's telling us to embrace the parts of yourself that you try to hide or you dislike about yourself. They are part of you, and just like the positive parts of us that we are proud of, the negative parts also deserve recognition. They make you unique, therefore embrace them. And the final cards that I've picked out are what to watch out for. We've got the 4 of Diamonds, the 10 of Clubs, the 8 of Diamonds, and the 8 of Spades. The playing cards are just reminding us that if you have a project in hand, that you need to put your full input into it and your focus, and to make firm, educated decisions, as these may be required now. It's not a time to sit on the fence, because if you do that, things will start becoming stagnant. You might start to become lethargic, lose impetus in the task, and then everything will grind to a frustrating halt. So just try and keep that momentum going and keep that vision of what you want to bring into being in the forefront of your mind. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that reading, and I hope to see you in the next. If you pick pile number 2, here's your reading. Pile number 2's ghost is fluorite. So your message from Spirit in the envelope reads, "Is this me?" you may ask yourself when you look in the mirror. Life has weighed heavy on your once carefree spirit. The spark of light in your eyes has waned, and your optimistic vision has lost focus. Your resolve is normally unwavering. Though you must dig deep, the lion within you has not yet been tamed and needs to be awoken. The royal you is about to be reborn and to return, refueled with fire in your heart and determination in your mind. Dawn of a new phase is on the horizon, and the world will soon be full of potential once more. I've picked some tarot cards to relate to the past. We have the 4 of Coins, or Pentacles. We have the Moon, the 5 of Swords, and then the Ace of Pentacles. The cards are saying that in the past you've maybe needed to be cautious because you felt you've been deceived, or you felt like you've been stabbed in the back or slighted for someone else's gain. And it's taken a lot for you to regain your footing and to begin to have confidence in your choices again. Also pick some cards for the present. We have the King of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. In these cards, the King of Swords in this deck is a teacher, and the Knight of Wands is all about adventure. So there's someone around you teaching you lessons, helping you with life experience, just in day-to-day life. You feel that life in general at the moment is quite laborious, but the hard work you're putting in now, you will reap the rewards for in the future. If you're in a relationship with somebody represented by the King of Swords, you may be worried that the relationship is lacking spark or not as grounded or stable as you'd like it to be. Obviously, there's also a potential for somebody with these attributes to come into your life if you're single, so that might be something else you need to look out for. The card for your future is one of revolution. If you've got any doubt in your situation or your mind, look for people who are like-minded as allies and follow what you feel in your heart, because you really know the answers deep down. Reinvent your life, and this will lead to starting a revolution and a completely new chapter. We've then got some inner advice cards. We have clouds, mystical, and we have scrying, intuition. These are advising you to look for signs. The universe is most definitely guiding you delicately onto the path you should be on, but you do actually need to look for signs and things to follow. They can come in many guises and will help confirm that you're heading in the right direction. The scrying card, all about intuition, is basically allowing your conscious mind to be occupied in your day-to-day life and allowing your subconscious to tap into what you need to know for your highest good. Always rely on what you feel your subconscious is telling you. There's a reason why you get a gut reaction for something, and it's not generally wrong. It's normally when we analyse it that we don't take that on board. Then we've got some love cards. We have Naz, feel loved and proud, and effervescence, cultivate love. The effervescence card in particular depicts people who may feel lonely, or they feel lost or disillusioned by love in the past, or those who feel that they're in a lacklustre relationship if they're with somebody. And this card brings news of renewal, reinvention, and the beginning of a new exciting phase. The Naz card is quite a similar message as well. There's a fresh, clean aura to a previously heavy heart, and it's like a spring clean for the soul and a wonderful welcome chapter just ahead. Then we've got some playing cards, which is what to look out for and what may be just ahead. We have the Nine of Spades, the Three of Spades, and the Two of Spades. So the playing cards, particularly all being spades, is telling us that there's a lot of action going on in your head, and that you're thinking and processing the same information over and over again. This can be obviously worrying if you're not releasing pent-up emotions and you're overthinking things, and obviously things can seem worse when you're in a negative state of mind, and therefore can escalate if you're not looking at situations from other perspectives. There may be concerns for others coming into your territory and becoming a threat in your job, your love life, or your friendships, because that's also there in the playing cards. So just something to watch out for, and to just be aware it could be happening. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed that reading, and hope to see you in the next. If you pick pile number 3, here's your reading. If you pick pile number 3, your ghost is the Howlite ghost. And your letter from Spirit says, you feel stagnant, stuck in one place. You desire movement, development, creation and action. The current situation won't change though unless you are content to instigate something new. It doesn't have to be monumental. It doesn't require a burst of magic, a grand symphony or a masquerade to begin. Just a different attitude and your normal determination. Only you can instigate this, and rest assured you will be thrilled with the results. Decide what earth-shattering changes you want to make, and unleash them onto the world. You won't regret it. You are the storyteller, and your tale is ready to be told. I've pulled some tarot cards to represent the past, and these are the Knight of Swords, the Two of Swords, the World, and the Nine of Wands. The cards are saying that you're quite good at focusing and put into the universe things that you want to bring into your life. You can be quite visual, you can be very determined, and whatever you've put out in the past, you have actually been rewarded with. It has actually come into you. The only thing is that I think that some of the things that you've asked for, the time element on waiting for them has been wrong, because by the time they've actually come in, you've moved on to wanting something else, or your desires have changed slightly. So that's obviously a little bit disappointing when you've wanted something for a long time and it finally arrives. It's not something necessarily at the top of your priority list. The other thing is, I think to a certain extent you feel that you had quite a smooth path previously. Everything was fitting into place, and then suddenly something's happened and it's left you having to make a difficult decision or to take a different path, and I think that's really thrown you off balance, and to a certain extent it's kind of taken your confidence, because you were quite focused, and it's removed that focus now and made you refocus on something completely different. We've got some cards for the present. We've got the Hermit, Judgment, the King of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. These cards are talking of some time alone or a feeling of isolation from those close to you. Whether this is something that's been self-imposed, or whether you're healing emotional wounds that others have inflicted, or doing some internal work, it's definitely been necessary to help clear your head and to recharge your batteries. On top of that, there's a male energy who he seems quite staunch, almost a little bit controlling, and it's not really the way you work. You seem to be sort of backing away from this kind of energy, either in a physical sense or an emotional sense, or even a metaphorical sense. It feels like their energy is imposing on yours, and you feel that's a little bit overwhelming at the moment for you, so you're backing away. So the cards for the future are choice and love. I think the choice could possibly be an option of going back into a relationship, or potentially a new one that's coming into you that's offering a more fulfilling feeling to both parties. You've got so much to give, and until the right person comes along, you're not going to be at that full potential. And when that right person comes along, it will be pure magic, and that's what you really need to be looking towards. So your inner advice cards are Midnight, the most magical hour of all, and Occam, which is nature. You're a really spiritual being, and I think you've got some magical tendencies, and some of you may be into actually doing readings yourself. You may be yet to discover what you are able to do in the spiritual realms, but there's certainly a close bond to nature, and I think if you feel the world is overwhelming you, you need to just tap into that on a regular basis. It both energizes and calms the soul, which can benefit you in general. Your love cards are Flashover, It's All in Your Head, and Zombie Control. I think you have a tendency to replay things in your head quite a lot and to analyse different scenarios. You don't imagine things because you've got a great intuitive skill, but not everyone understands, and therefore you can't necessarily share this. you kind of get precious information but don't know what to do with it. If you have like-minded allies that you feel you can share things with, then do so. Alternatively, journaling helps release feelings, and also helps you process things that are going through your mind. Just be aware of relationships where the control is imbalanced and not equal, because you have a fiercely independent part of you that doesn't want to be quashed by another person in a relationship that is supposed to be equal. And finally, we have some playing cards. You have the Seven of Diamonds, the King of Hearts, the Queen of Spades, and the Seven of Spades. There's two energies in the cards. There's a male energy, which, because of his lack of action, is causing a lot of frustration, because there's nothing happening. There's nothing. He's not moving forwards. He's not moving backwards. He's not making decisions. There's also a female energy around him that's quite protective over him, but also almost bordering on smothering. There's an element of fantasy between these two people. I think they get caught up in their own drama. So if at all possible, try and stay out of it. If you sift the fact from the fiction, I think you'd save a lot of time, energy and heartache on the long run in getting too involved with these characters. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed your reading, and I hope to see you in the next one. If you pick pile number 4, here's your reading. The ghost for pile 4 is the Jade Ghost. And your message reads: the world can be an overwhelming place. We try to be the best version of ourselves and to do what we feel is expected of us, but on occasion we fail. There is no embarrassment in finding out that our efforts weren't enough, or that something wasn't meant for us. Let it go and accept that it is what it is. There will be pangs of nostalgia and the fantasy of what if, but until this is fully released, nothing new can enter our lives. There are opportunities, experiences, and a whole new chapter waiting for you when you are ready to embrace it. I've picked some tarot cards to reflect the past. We've got the Ace of Wands, the Devil, the King of Cups, Strength, and the Lovers. There's quite an overbearing influence here in the past section. It's either like an addiction or a controlling essence that's quite hard to escape. It could actually be quite a passionate connection, but equally it could also reflect someone's need to confine another's free will. This can be as simple as checking up on emails, checking phones, things like that. Or it can equally be a person who is fiercely jealous if anyone pays any attention to their partner. I think there's something about hands. I'm obviously seeing the hands on the candle on the Ace of Wands and the hands on Strength. I don't know if there's something about this person's hands, or if they're good with their hands, or some connection to hands, but hands seem to come up several times in a lot of the cards. So I think this might be something that stands out on the person that's connected to this. The next batch of cards are for the present, and we have the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and Temperance. Again, in the present, there's another relationship, whether it's the same one as in the past, but that's changed and morphed slightly into the present day, or whether it's a new connection with a person. Again, it's a strong connection, definitely potential for commitment. It's more equally based with a pure loving energy at the foundation of it. It could be the same person as in the past. It could be a new relationship. But this relationship now in the present, or the one that's soon to come into you, is going to take some time to become established, but it's definitely worth investing some time in, because it's one of your pivotal relationships of your life. The cards for the future are mystery and danger of loss. I think there's a need to relax and allow things to flow as they should. There's a danger of, if you try and push a relationship, it could lead to loss, and the worry obviously of losing it. I think getting to know each other is all part of the mystery of a relationship unfolding, and the universe reveals things in divine time when you're supposed to know about them. Your inner wisdom cards are Lots, Chance, and Cauldron, Synergy and Healing. Once again, the cards are denoting that things are going to move on at a steady pace and will evolve at the right time. If you don't have someone significant potentially in your life at the moment, it's definitely going to come to you when you are ready. And the Cauldron is a card of cooking something up that's satisfying. The Lotus is all about fate, chance, and what is predetermined for us. So these cards together are basically saying there's something in the pot working up towards coming into your life, or underway at the moment, and you're going to start to see signs of that soon. Now, I think a lot of this reading has been relationship based, but these are potentially the love cards, the ones that are significantly about love. So the first one is to transform the way you see, and the other one is to cleanse and restore yourself. So I think not only in love relationships, but in any connections, friendships, family relationships, sometimes you need to take a step back to look at the bigger picture and to find what you really need rather than what you're drawn to. If looking for a relationship partner, you need to really see what you're bringing to the table, as well as look into them to see what they can give you in return in a partnership. And I think to a certain extent, if you've been drawn to people by looks or by the superficial parts of them, I think now's the time to let your heart reach out to someone else's soul and bring in who is meant for you. And then we've got some playing cards, which are what to look out for. We've got the Queen of Diamonds, the Jack of Clubs, and the Nine of Diamonds. There's a young male energy, someone who's single, someone very boisterous, someone who can lead a merry dance and take those who are drawn to him with him. I think he's probably got a little bit of a history maybe as a player, or someone who hasn't necessarily wanted to have firm connections in relationships or settle down to this point. There's also a woman around him who I would actually say is an ex-partner. Could be quite a close family member, but I'd say it's probably an ex-partner. And she's still quite close to him. Unless you know that this person's quite genuine and what they're telling you is quite genuine and that they've changed, I would probably give this person a wide berth until they have got out of their system whatever they need to get out of their system, be there as a friend, be there as a supporter, but just be a little bit cautious if you're going down a relationship road with this person until you are fully sure what their intentions are and that what they want out of a relationship matches what you'd like too. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that reading and hope to see you in the next. If you pick pile number 5, here's your reading. If you pick pile number 5, your ghost is the Crazy Lace Agate. And your letter reads, you are unique, somewhere far beyond the ordinary, but in recent times you have not been yourself. Your friendly, helpful nature has been utilised and little has been given in return. The heart that was once so open has suffered in many ways. Hope may have been dashed, truth has been dismissed by lies, and your worst moments you have felt blinded by pain. You are worthy of so much more. Release the burdens of those who have brought anything but positivity to your door. Cut through the past hurts and set free anything that you no longer need or feel joy for. You are about to become whole once more, but now with the battle scars of experience and a momentum that holds no bounds. I've picked some tarot cards to represent the past, and we have the Chariot, the Six of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. From the tarot cards for the past, I think you've had opportunities and doors opened towards your goals, and you've been quite dedicated yourself towards gaining momentum to bringing those into reality. You've also dedicated a lot of time to helping those who have needed your assistance. There are certain times, though, that you felt shut out from certain situations or from certain people, and you've not been fully aware what's been going on. I think you've been carrying the weight of people maybe not contributing to a cause, or maybe someone is taking a lot of the glory for your work and the rewards for your efforts. They're definitely trying to take over something that you've worked really hard to attain, and it should be your reward, but they have their mindset on trying to gain that for themselves. I think it's been quite an interfering energy where you've kind of shut them off in your head, but I think they're still very much there and still doing things behind closed doors that you're not seeing. The cards I've picked for the present are the Five of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Six of Swords. There's a feeling at the moment that you've lost your spark, and there's been disappointment around you, and you've tried to move on from it and shake the despondency that that's led to. There's some new and exciting things about to come into being, but you really need to cut away the dead wood to allow the new to fill the void. Look at what is holding you back, people who are not contributing, things that just don't spark joy anymore, and things that aren't currently serving you or bringing a useful purpose to your life, because those are the things probably that need to go to allow something new to come in, or at least you not to dedicate so much time to them, knowing that they're not bringing in something positive in return. For the future card, we have Take Advice. Probably quite self-explanatory. The Take Advice card is advising you to willingly accept help and advice from those who offer it, because they're doing so in good faith. You may find that you've experienced things that could be on a parallel to your current state, and they may have also lived a similar situation and may be able to offer help from their own viewpoint, having come out the other side of it. And they may see the overall picture from the outsider's point of view, which obviously gives them something different to contribute to the way you're seeing things, because you're actually in them at the moment. Your inner advice cards are the Spider, Community and Web Weaving, and Wishbone, Affirmation. Taking the Spider card first, the spider works alone and painstakingly spends time creating a web, and they focus solely on what they want. And you need to adopt this unwavering, determined mindset to bring your goals into reality. Sometimes when the spider comes up, it's also about networking, so it's not just about working alone. It's about being determined yourself, but also bringing other people in to help build that should you need to, and accepting once again help that's offered. The Wishbone card is about perfect timing and things just snapping into place. It denotes happiness after adversity and being present in the moment, knowing that divine time is going to deliver results exactly when they are due to be revealed and received. Then for your love cards, we've got Vertigo, whatever you choose will be correct. And panacea, there is a situation for every problem. Solution for every problem card shows being tied to one option that effectively is stopping your freedom and stifling your creativity and your fun-loving spirit. It also shows restraints of others that you love that are controlled or regimented and no longer have that spontaneous spark or the dynamic potential that they used to once have. And then lastly, I've got some playing cards for what to watch out for. We've got the Seven of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts, and the Two of Diamonds. The warning in the playing cards is advising you that if you don't make decisions and stick by them, opportunities are going to pass you by. You need to put your full energy and your effort into what you want, to ground ideas and to feed dreams, to birth them into reality. There's a female energy who can help or hinder your purposes, but you must determine why she's offering you support and if you can trust her and work alongside her. But that's obviously something that, depending on who it is and what your connection to her is, only you can decide. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this reading and I hope to see you in the next. If you pick pile number 6, here's your reading. The ghost for pile 6 is rhodonite. And for your message, we have, you're a great force, full of love and enthusiasm. You are the life and soul of the party, the one who people are drawn to. You are fun, full of interesting stories, and the person everyone wants to be. But if you look under the facade, there is a hidden depth. You have sacrificed the desire to drown in self-pity when things go wrong. You have picked yourself up countless times after hurt and heartbreak, and you have pieced yourself together, reinventing yourself over and over again until you are happy with who you are now. But are you happy? Now is the time to be true to yourself, embrace who you really are, and to share it with the world. I've picked some tarot cards to represent the past, and we have the Knight of Wands, the Sun, the Hermit, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Tower. There was a phase of happiness and you possibly felt it was too good to be true. It involved two energies. One was quite full of spontaneity, adventure, action, and was quite feisty. And the other was more of a slow, stable essence, but although less exciting, seemed far more dependable. And for whatever reason, one, other or both, things came to an abrupt halt, and there was a massive emotion with guilt and blame, and a whole roller coaster of feelings all came out in one go. And this really ceased, and there was no clear end to it, because I think to a certain extent you're carrying on some of the feelings that you felt at this time through to now into the present. The cards I drew for the present are the Moon, the Five of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Two of Wands. There have been some things going on that I don't think you're fully aware of. I think you felt a little bit defeated, or that people have been gossiping behind your back or causing you issues and tarnishing your reputation. There's also the return of one of the energies from the past section that we just went through, although there seems to be a connection to a female energy, which I think probably is an ex-partner. There's been a lot of planning around this situation, and once it's underway, it will definitely be moving in quite a fast pace. For your future cards, you have illusion and friendship. Someone might be showing signs of wanting a friendship with you, but this may not be their true motives. I think they might want something more with you than that. Maybe they want to find out something about you. Maybe they'd like to get to know you better, or move into towards a relationship, or move friends into another level. There's many reasons why false friends appear, but if you are privy to them, you know how to act and react to their behaviour. That said, this could actually be somebody with a genuine interest, and you really need to judge that person on their own merits when you meet them, but just be cautious that they may have a different agenda. Your inner advice cards are Dawn, the light after the darkness, and Arrow, focus. If you're feeling at your lowest ebb and you've got little to look forward to, remember that arrows are pulled down and backwards before being propelled into bigger and better things. With regard to dawn, it always follows on from the darkest night. So again, it kind of vibrates to the being thrust forward into the new day and bringing a new zest for life, a new start, and in turn, obviously, a wealth of new possibilities. Your love card is Embrace Oneness with the Universe. I think this is advising you to slow down on ticking boxes in the reality. Whilst achievements are high on your list, it's not nurturing the soul or the spiritual side of the psyche. You need to take a deep breath, maybe visit some nature, paddle in the sea, meditate, or just ground yourself generally, and take some time to listen to your inner voice and to heal the you that's the fast-paced daily life has managed to bury deep within. And then finally, I've got some playing cards, which are what to look out for. So we've got the Ace of Clubs, we've got the Three of Clubs, and we've got the Six of Spades. I think this relates to the removal of blockages to new opportunities, and it's really advising you to make sure your heart is fully immersed in what you are currently cultivating and what your desires are. Energy being split in different directions means that there's less force, less momentum toward your end goal, and therefore if it's going to come into fruition, it will come in slower, and potentially take a lot more work to actually come into reality. Where positivity knows no bounds, it can really manifest great things and at a lot faster speed. So just bear that in mind. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this reading and hope to see you next time.